I'll make sure you're reunited in prison. Bai Kong went mad and shouted, Gu Changgu, what have you done to my daughter? Gu Changgu laughed, right now, she's still safe, as for later. Bai Kong helplessly continued, you keep me alive, is it to use me as bait? You're young, yet your mind is so deep. I will tell you anything you want, just don't hurt my daughter, she has nothing to do with this, it's all my fault for dragging her into it. Gu Changgu asked, why did you send her to the demon realm? From what I know, the demon realm isn't exactly friendly right now. That wasn't a wise decision. Bai Kong replied, I had them bring something to the demon realm, it was a promise to an old friend. I don't even know what it is. It was just a pouch, I don't know what's inside. That's the truth, I'm not lying. Chu Chang'e smiled and said, what? Are you asking to hand it over to the son of the Xianyang demon emperor, who died 6,000 years ago, Jun Bufan? Hearing this, Bai Hun shouted in shock, what? How do you know? Who exactly are you? System prompt, discovered a new child of fortune, the son of the demon emperor, Jun Bufan. Chu Chang'e turned around and thought, it seems like the demon realm is hiding a shocking secret. Ming Kong and they came for the trial, perhaps. Just a chess piece in the game. Maybe only by fully controlling her can I have a chance to make a move in this game. Scene switch. A moment later, a subordinate reported, Master, there's news. Chu Chang'e opened the envelope, looked at it, and thought, oh. Has the son of the child of fortune already reached the Taishu divine tomb? Could that be the place where Ming Kong and they came for the trial? There will definitely be treasures appearing in this tomb, perhaps I should go there as well. Scene switches to a distant mountain, where a beam of light shines on the spot where Jiang Shen and Master Pudu are standing. The old monk lowered his head and said, I pay my respects to Princess Los Hen. Then he transmitted a message to Jiang Shen, Jiang Donor, do not raise your head. But before Jiang Shen understood what was happening, he was slapped hard on the face. A subordinate angrily said, disrespectful. How dare you stare at Princess Los Hen? Jiang Los Hen glared and said, is this the person you found? I hope you won't disappoint me. Next to her, La Ming mocked, humph. So weak. A single slap and he can't take it. Los Hen said, Pudu, if we fail this time, you know the consequences. Master Pudu awkwardly smiled and replied, Princess Los Hen, please rest assured. Although Jiang Shen's cultivation isn't high, his methods are extraordinary. Together, we'll definitely find the tomb's master. Jiang Shen, upon hearing this, thought, let me look for treasures, and you slap me in the face. Once I become an emperor, I will definitely destroy your families and sects. Jiang Los Hen continued, La Ming, after the divine tomb is opened, make sure to protect his safety. La Ming panicked and said, Your Highness, I. But Los Hen interrupted him and shouted, don't say any nonsense. Jiang Shen still angrily thought, first slap me, then give me honey. It seems like they really haven't experienced worldly matters. Master Pudu transmitted a message, Brother Jiang, finding the treasures is the most important thing, everything else is trivial. Jiang Shen replied indignantly, you're not the one getting slapped. The warship over here slowly approached. Looking at Jiang Los Hen and her group, people whispered, is that the Taishu divine clan? What do they want? I heard their bloodline is very strong, and they're not even a match for the disciples of the few major families at the same level. Really? Do they want to stop us from the major sects? A subordinate here transmitted a message, Princess, the Taoist sects are also involved this time. We can't underestimate them. We need to be cautious. Los Hen loudly said, this is the resting place of my ancestors. Do you also wish to disturb them? La Ming also shouted loudly, even the creation clan wants to interfere, isn't this a bit too much? The Taishu divine clan won't hesitate to teach disrespectful people a lesson. The major sects, hearing this, exchanged nervous glances and didn't dare move forward. Suddenly, from above, a powerful warship rushed towards them. Someone shouted loudly, nonsense. Didn't your ancestors choose to create their fortune here after leaving your clan? All these years, you've never come to sweep the tomb, but now you're eager when it comes to dividing treasures. Things in the tomb are clearly ownerless. From ancient times until now, treasures should be obtained by virtuous people, and everyone should take what they deserve. It was actually Chu Xiener, truly learning the Snake King's tongue. Her mouth was really powerful. The major Taoist sects saw this and immediately shouted, "The true Immortal Academy is here. They've finally come." That's right. Well said. I see, the Taishu Divine Clan is just looking for an excuse to monopolize. La Ming, hearing this, shouted angrily, "You little brat. Who are you? Which family do you belong to? We can't touch the true Immortal Academy, but you and your family." As he was enjoying his victory, a loud noise suddenly came from behind. On a mountain, a strong light shot out. Yi Tian loudly shouted, "The divine tomb has appeared. Forget about them, grab the important treasures." Everyone shouted together, "That's right. How can the Taishu Divine Clan fight us all by themselves?" Jiang Shen confidently replied, "This tomb hasn't been fully opened yet." But the young man thought to himself, "I need to gain their trust first." Over here, Gu Xiener shouted loudly, "Brothers, hurry and row over. Otherwise, the treasures will be taken." Ming Kong spoke, "Xiener, don't rush. This is the tomb within the tomb. What my sister sees is just a restriction." Xiener asked in confusion, how does Sister Ming Kong know this?" Ming Kong didn't answer. She smiled lightly and thought to herself, "Because I have experienced it in my past life." Meanwhile, the prince's younger brother shouted loudly, "The descendants of the Wang family, follow me. Charge forward with this young master." Fast as the wind, Wang Zishan rushed over, tapped his head, then angrily shouted, "What are you charging at? You can't even see the road like this, the Wang family will be ruined by you sooner or later." Then she turned her head and shouted loudly, "You all too, what are you doing? Don't you know that aiming at the bird's head exposes itself?" Meanwhile, at the divine tomb, the crowd surged forward. People were discussing, is this the entrance to the divine tomb? Ah Chan, as long as we get one good magic weapon, we can sell it and go back home to live comfortably. This world of cultivation won't work if we don't strive. A group of young men and women excitedly rushed forward. But just as they were about to arrive, a dazzling light suddenly shot out, injuring anyone it touched. Soon, those who were ahead were already knocked to pieces. Luo Shen saw this and spoke, "Not bad." Jiang Shen coldly said, "Princess, this is what a small person like me should do." Now, the entrance to the divine tomb is officially open. Then, thousands of light spots shot out, and everyone exclaimed, "Look, look! So many magic weapons and elixirs are flying out. We're going to get rich. Ha ha ha." Suddenly, Lu Guanwang rushed down, shouting, "The divine tomb is opening, everyone go find your own opportunities." Over here, everyone excitedly went to collect the treasures flying out. But many people chose to snatch the treasures, turning the place into a chaotic battlefield. Jiang Shen also excitedly ran to collect treasures, then the young man happily said, "Take advantage of the chaos, let's grab a few treasures." Suddenly, something stone-like flew toward him. Bronze Little Zhu said, "Quick, pick up that steel. Pick it up fast. Who cares what kind of junk it is?" Jiang Shen asked in confusion, "What is this steel?" Bronze Little Zhu replied, "What do you care about? It's definitely more useful than the other stuff. Quickly pick it up before anyone notices." However, when he reached out to pick it up, someone had already snatched it. It turned out to be Xiener. Jiang Shen thought to himself, "Damn, this girl is from the true Immortal Academy." Gu Xiener widened her eyes and said, "What are you looking at? Is this your thing?" Jiang Shen awkwardly smiled and replied, "Ah. Fairy, you misunderstood. I saw a light flash by earlier. And thought it was something good, but it turned out to be just a broken steel." Xiener picked it up. and said, "Don't think I can't tell, you can't even distinguish between good and bad treasures." She then brought it to the bird and said, "Dachine, how about this?" The bird made a gesture indicating it was a good item, then said, "Isn't this a good item?" Jiang Shen saw this scene and was scared, thinking to himself, "This works too. We're doomed." Bronze little Zhu reminded him, "Run, before everything gets worse." Over there, Sienna had already taken out a warm weapon. Jiang Shen nervously said, wait, fairy, I really didn't recognize that thing. Let's talk things over slowly, don't do anything." Suddenly, a powerful spear flew towards them at high speed, followed by a loud shout, "Stop!" The spear landed right where the two were standing, sending Jiang Shen flying out. It was Lu Ming. He said, "Worthless. You let someone steal what you just got. Get out of the way, don't mess with me." Jiang Shen, hearing this, could only swallow his anger and walk away, covering his head like a dog. Lu Ming then turned and shouted, "Stinky girl, I've disliked you from the start, and now you dare to touch my people. Don't blame me for not giving the true Immortal Academy face." But Sienna, full of vigor, rushed forward and shouted, "If you want to fight, then fight, stop talking. I'm not afraid of you." Immediately, a melee broke out. Ming Kong watched from a distance and said, "The Qin Yen sword. Why is Sienna fighting with the Taishu God clan?" Jiang Shen hid nearby, enjoying the show, thinking, fight. It would be great if you both die, you two dead dogs." But something seemed off. After several rounds of intense fighting, Lu Ming was struck on one hand by Sienna. Then, he was kicked in the chest, causing him to scream in pain. Lu Ming, scared, thought, is she already at the Saint Realm at such a young age? Sienna then swung her sword and slashed at the spear. She threw it toward Lu Ming, who screamed in fear, "No, don't kill me. I am." Sienna fearlessly shouted, "I don't care who you are, you will die today." Just then, Jiang Lushan rushed up and blocked the spear with his hand, then commanded, "Kill her." A loud shout came from the distance, "Princess Lushan's order, no matter who you are today, you will not escape death." A giant hand descended from the sky and heavily slapped toward Sienna, who could only resist with all her strength. Sienna, scared, thought, "Damn it, is that the peak of the Great Saint Realm?" Over here, several of Chao Changji's little maids panicked upon seeing this. But suddenly, a spatial door opened, and a voice of the Snake King was heard, "Oh, really? What if she's my Chao Changji's person?" Immediately, a huge snake appeared, wearing a friendly smile, with eyes full of affection. "You're all going to die today." People from the major sects, seeing Chao Changgu appear, began to discuss among themselves, "Holy crap, is that Chao Changgu? Didn't expect the young master of the Chao family to come." Prince Qian was surprised and thought, was that void shattering just now? Has he reached the supreme realm? Over here, Lu Ming whispered in fear, could it be that Chao Changgu destroyed the Purple Mansion? It can't be that coincidental. Jiang Lushan also panicked and thought, void shattering. It must have been done with a magical artifact or a mansion order or something. Then she asked, "That girl is?" Chao Changgu replied indifferently, "She is my sister, Chao Sienna." Below, Sienna shouted, "Chao Changgu. Didn't you say you wouldn't come?" Chao Changgu snorted coldly, "You're so undisciplined, call me brother." He then turned to the group who had been pressuring Sienna, pointing at them and smiling, "All right, hand over the person who dared to hit my sister just now." Lu Ming, scared, turned and shouted, "Princess, sister, save me." Jiang Lushan spoke, "Young Master Changgu, Lu Ming didn't know the identity of this girl, which is why the misunderstanding occurred. Why don't we let this matter rest? What do you think?" Chao Changgu replied, "A misunderstanding. Have you ever seen anyone use a spear to snatch a treasure and then claim it's a misunderstanding? This matter was caused by him, and he deserves to die." In the distance, Master Pudu hid behind a rock and said fearfully, "It's over, the Tai Su divine clan has encountered this monster Gu Changa again, how will this end? Why did it have to be him?" What bad luck. Jiang Shen said beside him, the Tai Su divine clan can't even handle the Gu family. Master Pudu replied, I guess the outcome won't be much better than the death realm. Jiang Shen thought for a moment, this Lu Ming always calls me useless, but when he meets Gu Chang'e, he acts like this. Who's the real useless one? It's so strange, why do I always run into Gu Chang'e everywhere I go? What bad luck. Bronze Xiaochu also spoke up, stop watching the show, let's leave while they're fighting. Above, Lushan shouted angrily, young Master Chang'e, this is the place where my ancestors of the clan perished, Lu Ming is just being cautious with the treasure, there's no grabbing involved. Gu Chang'e smiled and responded, oh, so your point is that all the Taoist sects coming here are trying to grab treasures? It's a land with no master, and you still want a piece of it. It seems the Tai Su divine clan is both domineering and petty. Just as he finished speaking, the Taoist sect members all agreed loudly, yes. The Tai Su divine clan just wants to monopolize this opportunity. Young Master Chang'e is right. They're too arrogant, young Master Chang'e must step in to uphold justice. Gu Chang'e secretly smiled, only interests can win people's hearts. Who wouldn't want to take the treasures in the name of justice? Then Lushan shouted, what exactly do you want to stop? If you have any conditions, just say them, okay? Lu Ming also said, yes, hurry up and say it. Gu Chang'e thoughtfully replied, conditions. Since Princess Lushan has said so, if you're willing to become my concubine, would that work? As soon as he finished speaking, Ming Kong below angrily broke the treasure in his hand. People around were startled by this scene. Though a snake, Gu Chang'e's hearing was very sharp, and the young man immediately sensed a dangerous aura. Gu Chang'e changed his tone and continued, or you could be my tea servant. If Princess Lushan bows down, I can easily resolve the matter of your brother hurting my sister. Below, Gu Xianer shouted angrily, I wasn't injured at all. That useless fool couldn't even touch me. Lushan gritted his teeth and said, Gu Chang'e, you're deliberately insulting me, aren't you? The person who had been attacking Xianer angrily shouted, the descendants of the Gu family are really arrogant. Robbing my divine clan's tomb and insulting my clan. Do you really think the Tai Su divine clan has no one? After speaking, he unleashed a powerful force and charged at Gu Chang'e. A massive red dragon charged forward. Terrifyingly, but Gu Chang'e just stood there, easily taking out a secret treasure and playing with it. The red dragon was absorbed into the treasure. In no time, only an empty space remained, truly empty. Then, a small sword appeared before the person, and he screamed, what the hell is this? But before he could figure it out, the small sword pierced through his head, and his body was instantly petrified. Gu Chang'e swiftly moved behind him. Put away the small sword, and said, if this elder has bravely sacrificed himself, then let's exchange him for your brother's life, how about it? Or it would be better for them to accompany each other in the underworld, what does Princess Lushan think? King Lu Quan panicked and put her down, then hurriedly walked away, saying, oh no, treasures. Let me see what treasures are left. The woman in red thought to herself, don't be unclear, one day go challenge Gu Chang'e. I think he's more dangerous than the inheritor of the demonic art. Above, Jiang Leshen was very angry about the elder's death. But she had no choice but to accept and begin speaking. Today, the Taishu divine clan has already paid the price. If young Master Chang'e still wants to settle accounts, just kill me. Gu Chang'e replied, Princess Leshen, you must be joking. How could I do such a thing? That little brat was too mischievous. So I just punished him a bit. Little brother, live well from now on, don't be so impulsive, or you'll end up picking up poop. Lu Ming was very frightened, behaving obediently like a puppy and clasped his hands, saying, I will carefully remember young Master Chang'e's teachings. Leshen shouted angrily, let's go. But in her heart, she thought. This guy is using an example to scare others, yet still pretending to be a good person. Now I have no strength to deal with him, let's meet with others first and find the divine relic left by our ancestors. Then, Gu Chang'e flew down to join his companions. Ming Kong thought to himself, I remember in my previous life, Jiang led